Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I wanted to get on and talk about what happens when the trust is broken in a relationship. And I've talked about this a lot before, but I wanted to talk about what it does to the person who's been betrayed. So, yes, it affects the relationship that you're in. And yes, it erodes the trust with the person who has done the betrayal. But the longer term effects are that it continues to cause you to question whether you can trust other people going forward. So it doesn't just affect the relationship that you're in. It can affect other relationships that you're in and in the future, right? So that sense of betrayal does something to us. It creates a sense of distrust in us, that we can't trust our own gut, and we can't, rely on our own instincts because our instincts were wrong. We trusted this person and they betrayed us, and therefore we start to question our own, sense of logic or our own ability to discern who's trustworthy and who isn't, right? So we start to question ourselves. And it can really create a lot of, anxiety within a person, because if you're going into relationships thinking that, no matter how much I know this person, how much I love this person, they have the potential to betray me, and I won't know until it happens. I mean, that's a really uneasy feeling, especially if someone has betrayed that trust before. And so, like for me personally, that wouldn't be something that I would be taking into new relationships, because that hasn't been a part of my current relationship. But excuse me, I've talked to a lot of women as clients and just, in groups and whatnot, who have been betrayed. And it really messes with your sense of self, right? Because you trusted this person with your heart, with your being, right? And they betrayed you. And so you start to question, was I wrong to trust them in the first place? And, that's just a really hard place to be in. It's not like, it's easy to just make that feeling disappear. And yet all of us know on some level that anyone could betray us at any time. But until it's actually happened to us, we still feel that, naive sense of like, just that naivete, right? Like we still have that sense that, that wouldn't happen to us. And then when it does, we start to question ourselves. And that's not a great place to stay stuck in. And yet I find that a lot of my clients do stay stuck there until, we can kind of figure out, because it's often tied to other senses of betrayal and other senses of lack of safety, right? And so when we can kind of connect the dots on those and create, a fuller picture for someone, then it makes sense why they're still hanging on to that feeling and that anxiety around betrayal trauma, right? Because it's not just the betrayal in that relationship that's often coming up. It's like all these other triggers will happen as well. And so, taking care of all of that, and then just getting you to a place where you can trust your sense of self, you can trust your intuition when you're meeting new people, and if you're putting yourself back out there, or just, if you're staying in the relationship and you're going to work on the rebuilding of trust within that relationship, right? So that's going to take some inner healing on yourself, and then it's going to take a partner willing to do that work to really build that sense of connection and trust again. And so, yeah, if you're struggling with, a feeling like you don't trust your instincts anymore, or that you're constantly feeling like relationships have the potential to be more hurtful now because of the past betrayal, then that's something that we can work on together in sessions, right? Again, like we're not going to make those feelings go away completely, because I think we need to understand that those are the things that are going to keep us safe in the future as well, right? Excuse me. Much like when I work with people and we work around physical pain, I'm not looking to completely erase the sensations felt by that person, because there's a purpose to feeling discomfort in our body, because that's how our body sends us messages, right? So if in the future we're in a relationship with someone and what's being triggered for us is that sense of insecurity and feeling unsafe, we want to know that we can actually trust that, and that it's not just unhealed wounds being triggered that we haven't, done the work around, right? Because those are two different things. We can have something triggered inside of us that's saying, hey, this reminds us of, something that happened before, right? Versus, feeling that betrayal constantly kind of coming up, even when it's not necessary, right? There's a difference between that, and it being sort of just this unopened wound that's constantly raw and constantly uncomfortable, right? That's different. That's a different place to be in than being in a place where you can, you've done the healing enough that you can trust that, okay, I know that this feels different and is, kind of telling me this about what's going on inside of me, right? So, if you've been betrayed, if you're wondering how do you get through it, past it, it's a process, and it's going to take some work and some healing, and that's what I help women do. I help women who have been betrayed, getting their confidence back, gaining some clarity and some healing around all of the wounding that took place, and get to a place where they feel safe within themselves to trust their own intuition, and feel safe enough to go out and, be in new relationships. And so if I can help you with that, please feel free to reach out. You can private message me. We can have a chat, or you can just book in a free consultation call. The link is in the banner. It's also on my website. You can message me and I'll send you a booking link. It's a free 45-minute call. We do it over Zoom with the camera off, or over Messenger, whatever works best, whatever we get the best connection. And it's done off camera because, I just want you to be comfortable and can show up in your jammies and your hair and curlers. I don't care, because I won't know. We can just talk about what's going on for you and figure out a solution on how to get you feeling your confidence back, feeling sexy and vibrant and whole again. Okay? So thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.